Transaction search allows you to see your data that you've entered into CenterPoint. There are several ways to get to transaction search. It's a reporting tool, so from the reporting tools menu, you can get to transaction search, and also from the processes menu is transaction search. On the toolbar, it will be the binoculars. All the different ways will bring up this screen. The transaction search is made up of 3 different parts. The date selection allows you to set when the transaction activity was recorded. There are different parameters, this week, this month, all these different parameters that you can that are predefined for you. If you want search to always open up with a different parameter other than this month, you can pick that one, right-click, and set that as default. You can also customize the date. So if we wanted to see just activity for the 1st of the month to the 15th, we can do that. And if we click search again, that would refresh our screen. The format definition defines how you're seeing the data, what columns are being displayed, and how it's grouped and sorted. If we needed to add other columns, we can go to the Columns tab over at the left. We're going to go back on our date selection and go back to this month. And our filter definition allows you to select what you want to see. So over at your left under filters are different search selections that you can use, such as the entry screen. If we wanted to only see payments, we could click the entry screen and choose payments, move that to the right and click OK. And if we refresh our search, now we're only seeing payments that were done in that particular date span. If you want to clear that selection, you can open it up again, click clear, and click OK and research again. And now we're back to seeing all of our transactions. When you're in the search screen, you can reorder this search by any column that's displayed. Right now it's in transaction date order, but if I clicked on transaction number at the top of the column, that would reorder it by transaction number, or if I did entry screen, that would gather the like type entries and on down the line. Checks can be reprinted from transaction search. If we needed to reprint this transaction to Minnesota Propane, I can either right-click and choose Reprint Check from this menu, or I can go down to the Print menu down at the bottom and click my drop-down to reprint checks. I can print this screen also as a report. If I click my drop-down on Print, I can go to Print Results. That would bring up my screen to pick the printer that I want and click Print. Transactions can be edited in search. If I double-click on any one of these entries, that'll bring up the entry screen just as I entered it originally. And I can change anything I want to on this screen. I could change the name if it was going to the wrong name, or the date. If I change the amount, let's say that this should be $420 instead of $411, and we're going to change this to $190. I can click Save, and that's going to reverse the original entry and repost my changes. So if I click Save now, my entry will now show as $420. I can also delete transactions from here. So if I have this transaction and it shouldn't have been entered, I can double click, and delete will reverse the transaction. Void will also reverse the transaction, but in addition, void will mark that transaction as void, and that gives you a way to track that particular check number when you're doing your bank reconciliation. That's the difference. So if we click delete, it'll have us confirm that we really want to delete this, and click yes, and that transaction disappears. Now we're going to use search to find all of our repairs. So, and we want to find all of them from last year through today. And we have a filter definition here for a repairs filter. It's looking at all of our categories that have to do with repairs. And because we're looking for repairs, we also want to see more detail than just the summary. We want to be able to see which account they went to. So we're going to change our format definition to detail with break on each transaction. And now we are seeing all of the entries where repair accounts were used in the transactions. We have a repair maintenance, we have a repair expense equipment, and that's one way to use search to find some data that you're looking for. Transactions that are displayed on the screen can also be exported to an Excel spreadsheet. You can click export and it gives you the opportunity to make an Excel file and save that to the location where you want it. And those are some different ways to be using your transaction search.